Okay, let's pick up where we left off for this short, spooky story. I think this is part 5. That felt right. Or part 4, day 5. Whatever. Gradually, as it became progressively more obvious that the outside world had left us to rot and our community started to run out of the rations provided for us, the council began to take advantage of the amount of power they had. Sure, blame it on repressed trauma or PTSD, but I would go as far as to say these kids were sociopaths. We call them the dark days. They must have become cannibalistic. Because in a matter of weeks, our world started to come apart. It started with a message from the outside that our food was delayed. Yikes. So we starved. The kids in power started getting bored. Kids were refusing to work without food. Normal crashed and burned. Humanity bleeding away into something else. I'm telling you, I sense cannibalism. Those in authoritative positions were no longer quietly plucking the good looking guys and girls for their own pleasure. They were ordering our police force, a small group of volunteers, to drag them from their homes and present them to the council. Please bring all chocolate to the council. Guys with gross fucking haircuts, I'm talking about you, Oliver Bentley, are no longer allowed inside the cafeteria. Cut your hair and look decent or starve. Any cute dogs must be handed over. If you're physically attractive and want one of the last cans of soup, you can earn it. Only hot guys and girls. If you like a hobbit, you'll be turned away. So, yeah, normal began to crumble. We tried to uphold it, but when the council started using older kids as toys and playthings, that was when our little community fell apart. Nathaniel was one of those chosen to serve the council, in what started as a stupid announcement and quickly turned into a rule. Those who were chosen to be right hands to the council must not resist, or their loved ones would suffer. We were starving, delirious, and going crazy. Before our leader could go full Lord of the Flies, however, the outside world stepped in. Thank God. Gracie had her leadership revoked, along with her council, and all of her orders were thankfully banned. Nathaniel and the others were freed. Sarah and I dragged him from a hotel room, which looked innocent enough. We found him playing switch games cross-legged on the floor. According to Nathaniel, there was a lot of PG-13 non-consensual groping going on. He laughed it off, but there was an emptiness in his eyes I didn't like. His smile was too big. Sarah pointed out blood on the bed sheets, but I blocked it out, nodding dizzily when Nathaniel insisted he was fine. The perpetrator, who had my brother and 5 other senior girls and guys trapped in her hotel room, fashioned to a sex den, was nowhere to be seen, probably hiding in shame. I called it out as sexual assault, and thankfully, more kids spoke out. Gracie was indirectly arrested, meaning as soon as the quarantine was over, she and her little group were in big trouble. I heard the charges were severe: forced imprisonment and non consensual sex. I didn't see rape happening. Didn't see that coming. For the time being, they were put on house arrest. Thankfully, a new council was built from kids with actual intelligence and a passion for leadership. Liam Cartwright became our leader, and in his first role of replacement mayor, he demanded his soldiers bring us enough food and supplies to last us for a month. The outside world reluctantly complied, and we met to normal. Ish. The girl who sexually assaulted my brother, Tally Edwards, was officially a missing person, which became our first real case. Liam put together a force of 10 able-bodied kids to act as a police force and investigate the girl's disappearance. I got my job back as a delivery girl. When our internet was cut off, though, I became a sort of food delivery service instead. But I liked it. There was something therapeutic about awaiting our daily shipments, watching the outside world continue while we had come to a grinding halt. A year passed without our parents, adults, and normality. But we made it work. We were a bunch of 16 and 17-year-olds trying to keep afloat, normal. But just like the outside world, death existed in our makeshift community too. 5 kids, mostly from neglect. Taryn James and her friends. I found a dead body, or a dead baby, inside the wreck of a car. A 15-year-old girl had jumped out of a tree on a dare and landed head first. 3 toddlers had come down with fevers that killed them despite us having the right medical supplies. We might have had medicine, but the kids working at the hospital had no idea what they were doing. Why would they? The eldest was 17, and he ran away, puking into his hand. When the 15-year-old was brought in, half of her skull caved in. The outside world only helped us with food. The rest, We had to fend for ourselves. The assholes didn't even send in medics. In their words, it was a risk they couldn't take. Little kids were dying, but because of a phantom contagion, that was yet to claim any more lives, they couldn't save them. Kids weren't just dying; they were disappearing too. The missing had doubled. 2 kids were now gone. Both of them, part of Gracie's original council, and Gracie herself had somehow managed to build her own little cult. She believed that God had taken her friends, and they had simply followed our parents to heaven. Judgment Day was a new one. We'll stop there. Yeah, there's a lot more to this story, y'all. Like, significantly. Let's see. Yeah, it's still a good amount. But, hey, we'll finish it soon. When soon? I don't know. Stop asking me. It'll be done when it's done. I'll see you later.